Guys, feast your eyes on the finest 1984 RZ350 Kenny Roberts replica I've ever seen. Definitely the finest one for sale in the world today. I haven't seen anything that even comes close to it. Check the Mecum results, check completed auction listings. You'll find that they're trading for $28,000 down to $22,000 in that range. And none of the ones I've seen sell were this fine and original. 3,804 miles. It came to us from the original owner. We have the original bill of sale from the dealer. We have the original manual. We have the original title from 1984. The bike is an absolute diamond. One owner example. The only items on the bike that aren't original are the chain and the tires. Put a brand new set of Bridgestone Battle Axe tires on there. It runs, looks, and rides like a brand new motorcycle. The only one we've ever gotten with a stock exhaust system, 100% stock, engine, intake, exhaust, and it has a center stand. Most of them, well, all of the ones that came in through us had pipes on them, missing the center stand, and were in some way, shape, or form modified. Original right down to the seat cover. This one is at full provenance, just been thoroughly serviced and tuned here at Kaplan Cycles. It needs nothing to ride and enjoy. Put it on display in the museum or take it to the racetrack. It's ready to go. The work order that we have done on the bike is pretty extensive. We did quite a bit to it. We put a new battery in it, new battery tender lead, new NGK spark plugs. The fuel tank was drained, flushed, and inspected. The fuel petcock was rebuilt. We removed the carbs and inspected the reed pedals. We lubricated the throttle cables. We cleaned, rebuilt, tuned, and synchronized the carburetors. New fuel lines, new fuel filter, and fresh VP4 ethanol-free fuel in the tank. Started the bike, set the idle and air screws. We removed the airbox, cleaned and inspected it, and replaced the airbox with the new Uni air filter in the original airbox. Drained and cleaned the injector oil reservoir, installed new injector oil lines, and fresh Bel-Ray S7 injector oil. We bled the injector oil pump and installed new Spectro 1040 transmission oil. We flushed and bled the coolant system with new coolant oil. We drained, rinsed, and cleaned the front brake master cylinder. We rebuilt the front brake caliper, flushed and bled the front brakes with new DOT4 brake fluid, rebuilt the rear brake master cylinder, rebuilt the rear brake caliper, and cleaned the rear brake reservoir. We reassembled the rear brake and bled with new DOT4 brake fluid. Cleaned and inspected the original final drive sprockets were in mint condition. We did install a new 520 heavy-duty final drive chain, gold to match the rest of the bike. New Bridgestone Battle Axe tire on the front, mounted and balanced. New Bridgestone Battle Axe tire on the rear, mounted and balanced. 100-point check over, and it was test ridden, and then given a full, what we call a museum quality rotisserie detail. Carefully hand wash. We polished the foot peg brackets, cleaned the foot pegs, gently cleaned the wheels to preserve the original gold coating. Prepared. The only item that was repainted on the bike is the exhaust heat shields. Not the exhausts are the original factory paint. The heat shields were repainted, the original color and sheen. We hand cleaned the exhaust pipes. The fork legs, upper and lower, were polished. All the aluminum, all the chrome on the bike was polished. The engine cases and the covers were hand buffed, hand polished. If you look closely at this bike, the finish on the engine cases is spectacular. I've never seen one ever since the 80s that looked this nice on both sides. Most of them are repainted. That's the original factory finish, which is very difficult to duplicate. Cleaned and polished and waxed the fuel tank, the side covers, all the painted surfaces, the handlebar fairing, the chin fairing, and the front fender. Carefully hand cleaned underneath the seat. This RZ is a winner as a rider or a showpiece. It's ready to go. Cycle World 1984 said on a fun scale of 1 to 10, Yamaha's RZ350 rates a perfect 10. 375 pounds, lightweight, spectacular. YPVS power valve pushes you back in the seat at anything over 6,000 RPMs. I didn't take it over 6,000 on this test ride. I babied it. So did the original owner. This is not most of these were destroyed. But as track bikes or young guys that were racing and riding on the street, a lot of parts were swapped out of them. Most of them were run into the ground. The reed valve induction delivers clean, smooth power. Liquid cooling assures long engine life and consistent performance. And the close ratio 6-speed transmission keeps the power in the sweet spot. Super smooth, rubber-mounted engine, limited to vibration. And the perimeter frame design provides unequaled handling. Stunning Yamaha race team paint scheme highlighted by the Kenny Roberts signature on the fairing. The RZ350 is a direct descendant of Yamaha's 350cc Daytona 200 winner, known as the Giant Killer. Excellent street bike, a winner on the racetrack. This bike looks and runs brand new. A couple key points: has the original fairing on here. I've never seen one with the original factory sticker on how to clean the windshield on here, which is absolutely freaking remarkable. It has the original decal on the bottom of the forks. The finish on the forks is in excellent condition. You'd be hard pressed to find a nicer one. We haven't seen a nicer one. Maybe this one will set a new world record as the highest priced RZ sold at auction. It's being auctioned on eBay. With that, I want to invite my associate, Bill Blythe. He's a curator here at the museum. Bill, he's also a 5-time Isle of Man veteran and also the RZ Cup champion. He won at Daytona against 70 other pro riders in '84 on his RZ. He's forgot more about RZs than I'll ever know. Tell us a little bit why this is the best street legal bike to race on the track, and about your experience and the mileage you've logged on these.
Sure. Well, first of all, I had a street version just like this that I put over 30,000 miles on, and it was used when I got it. It probably had 45,000 miles on it when I was done. And I still own the bike, and it still runs. It's a bike you can go the long ride on, but this motorcycle is so perfect and beautiful, and it's an original condition. It would be a shame to do anything other than just leave it as it is and, perhaps use it or view it, have it up on a pedestal, because that's where it belongs. It really is a survivor, as you're saying. Those pipes, they were the first things to go for even the street guys, because they got, they didn't perform as well as what you could buy aftermarket. But then you, like you said, lose your center stand, etc. But this bike, it even has the catalyzer, the little sound. It makes a little beep beeps. And the catalyzer light comes on here if it's not functioning properly. And you could hear, again, listen again, it goes ding, ding. That's the power valve cleaning itself off. It cycles itself so it doesn't carbon up. Yeah, and you've got all the warning indicators there, and unleaded fuel only. All that stuff would have gone by the wayside if this bike had ever been abused. It's been perfectly pickled. It was ridden a bit, but obviously put away as it was ridden last. It wasn't a machine that was used for any other purpose than just to ride on the road. So in my experience, I raced one from 1984, it was a Canadian version, to the end of 1986. And it was the most reliable road motorcycle that you could ever own. It took a beating over and over and over again. And I was I was easy on equipment, if you will.
Yeah.
But I still got the most out of the machine. And in the end, I qualified for Daytona for the RZ Cup, which was a Yamaha sponsored event. And all during the season, you'd qualify for it. And my qualification entitled me to front row P1 on the grid.
Wow. So, it's pole position, right?
Pole position, yeah. And from flag to flag, I won the race. And
against 70 other
pros. And they were, various different levels, but people from all around the country and Canada.
At Daytona, the World International Center of Racing.
That's right. Yeah, the very fast racing there. And even with that big of a track, 3.5 miles, it was a bit crowded at times.
With 70 guys, that's a shit show.
Yeah, right.
That's a lot of riders, man.
Yeah, so, but all those people were on RZ350s, and they were from all around the world.
How many did you lap?
Oh, several. Yeah, several guys. Yeah. And whenever I'd see lapped riders coming, I go, here comes my advantage, because I could get through traffic pretty well. I was good at it. But the RZ sliced through traffic like a knife, and we wound up bringing the RZ Challenge Cup home. And that same cup was won by a gentleman by the name of Kevin Schwans the year before. Kevin Schwans went on to...
That's it, the RZ Cup, national champion.
It's not much of a trophy.
No local chump change. This is national champion at Daytona.
That's right, man. AMA CCS were the sponsors. And, it wasn't the greatest trophy in looks, but it represents something very important.
Amen. It's spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, and this bike, I didn't only ride the RZ350 in the RZ Cup and other RZ races. I rode it against full-on road race bikes like the Honda RS250 and the Yamaha TZ250. Now, those are full-on race bikes with slicks and racing suspension, bigger brakes. And there's my RZ that I became champ with, winning the Formula 2 championship in New England, which was remarkable for a street bike. I even left the horns on mine, and I'd blow them at the other riders as I was going by sometimes.
Tell lappers, pull over.
You can see here in this picture, the horns are still on the bike. in the photograph. This was part of my resume that I cut out and I left it with this picture. But so that's some of my history with the RZ. 4 seasons of racing an RZ350 with great success.
And 40 years later, you still have it, right?
I still have, not my race bike, but I do have a street version that I rode all those miles on.
What color is that one?
It's red and white.
Red and white.
So it's an 85 red and white. They made this beautiful yellow livery 2 years in a row. That was the one that stuck. And I think they're almost identical as far as graphics go between 84 and 85, whereas the red and white one changed. This is called the Yamaha Panic Stripe. And it was designed by Fast Mikey Vills, who painted all the Yamaha team gas tanks for the TZ750 crew back in the day. So it's, yeah, this bike is, you know, with Kenny Roberts' endorsement in the advertisement that you didn't mention when you were talking about what we had as far as literature with the bike. We have an advertisement for the Yamaha RZ350 and Kenny Roberts in his full yellow Yamaha team leathers.
That goes with the bike too, right?
Standing with one of these, and that goes with the bike. You know, so that's a piece of history that belongs with the bike for sure.
So we have the brochure, the original. We have the original pink slip from the dealership, which is, I mean, who keeps that 41 years later? I think it was like $2,900. So it's worth almost 10 times. It's worth 10 times what it was worth new. And why is it worth so much today, Bill?
Oh, because these things have a reputation for being a massive hot rod, you know, but it's minuscule, it's tiny, it's lightweight and very small, easy to handle. It does everything well. It goes slow well and it goes fast well. It goes around corners like it's on rails. And if you're, you know, daring enough, you can blow a wheelie with it down the street and shift through the gears. And that power valve makes that 350cc light up, like it was said in the advertisement, at 6,000 RPMs and beyond. Look out, the front wheel's coming up if you're not over the bars. So, you know, it's not an expert's bike, but it could be, you know.
Was there the Banshee engine, was that a version of this set up for off-road?
Yeah, the Banshee was in the four-wheeler, and we've had a number of them here that have been hot-rodded with big pipes and everything, but they have no power valve. And it kind of differentiates the way the power is delivered. This one softens it at one point, and then it raises it up very quickly at another point when the exhaust port changes height. So it's very well designed motorcycle. And those crankcases and cylinders are based on bikes that you talked about, the Giant Killer. From way back in the 60s, Yamaha started this type of design with a parallel twin two-stroke, and they're very, very successful with it. And this is just the advanced version of that.
So 20 years of road racing expertise was reverse engineered and put into a street legal track bike, basically.
Indeed, indeed. And one other thing about the exhaust, this was a emissions beater with those pipes on there. They were able to beat the emission standards for two-strokes, and they did it for a couple of years, and then put the cork in the program.
So this was the final street legal two-stroke at the end of an era of the H2750s, RD400s. And
right, they were all uncorked. This one was corked up because they had to beat a higher standard, and especially to meet the California emission standards. So,
low serial number too, 48H000493, one of the first 500. I'm not sure what the production stats were. I'm sure a small portion of them survived the ides of time.
Right.
You know, 40 years later, most of them were destroyed.
Yeah, I think the ones that survive would be on a pedestal somewhere in a museum, such as this place.
Where this one is,
yes.
Like this one.
Yeah, right. But yeah, they've had quite a reputation over the years, and the reputation stands today. When you speak RZ350, people know what you're talking about. People in the know. You know, I've had a great life, you know, with an RZ350 for sure. I wish I had my race one still.
Are you going to run your street bike one some more? I think 45,000 miles on it?
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
the original engine, or have you had to rebuild it?
I haven't touched it.
Original top end?
Yep.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, it is. Well, I always burn top quality oils. It's got oil injection, so I'd run Yamaha bar in the oil injector, and I didn't make it any richer. It had stock jetting, and it ran perfectly right from the factory.
Wow.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say, right?
That's right. Yeah. Many happy miles for sure.
Definitely the finest example I've seen, and I wish we could keep it, but we can't. We have a lot of overhead here at the museum. The museum's 100% supported by the sales of motorcycles. So if you buy this bike, we'd be honored to leave it here on display for as long as or short as you wish. It's been here for a while now, a couple months, and it's time for it to find a new forever home. So if you have any questions about it, call us, 860-454-7024. Is there anything else you'd like to add about it?
I would surely love to own it myself. Yeah.
If you want to buy it and give it to Billy, he'll be honored. If you have a billionaire out there who wants to support the RZ Cup champion himself,
Right
I'm sure you'd ride it to work every day like you do your ZRX 1200.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for recognizing the accomplishments on the RZ. That was a long time ago, but it's still fresh in my memory.
Hey man, once a national champion, always a national champion. If I was a national champion, I'd have like a big pendant hanging around my neck, national champion with a gold chain or something, you know? He's way more humble than I am.
That's great.
That's cool. I have tattooed on my shoulder. Yeah. Big number one, you know? That's cool. Congratulations on your success and sharing your story with us. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hit the like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.